I'm Toby Johnson from Runnymede Pianos. In this episode, we're going to have a look at modern day piano tuning, both traditional aural tuning and the latest trend in tuning via apps. Some tuners are doing courses both online and vocational in piano tuning via apps. Others are just downloading the app and deciding that they can be a master piano tuner. I personally trained at the London College of Furniture in Aldgate, East London, and then went on to Steinway & Sons at their Park Royal Workshop, also London. I recently decided to try a few of these online courses using apps, mainly to see the outcome. Before I go further, we'll have a quick look at what piano tuning involves. Every sound is created up of other sounds known as harmonics. When two sounds are vibrating at the same time, they will be vibrating at the same point. These are the harmonics at which we control. We can make the note sharp or flat by fractions barely audible to the human ear, and we can control the speed of these harmonics by how far sharp or flat we make the note. This is what piano tuning is all about. In aural tuning, the very first thing we do is set the tempered scale in the center of the piano. There are two scales. One uses thirds and sixths, the other uses fourths and fifths. We then work our way up the treble of the piano and we use thirds as the checking point. Once we've done the treble, we will then work our way down the bass doing the same thing. Both the treble and the extreme bass, we will stretch the tuning. But in app tuning, we start at the bottom note and we work our way up the piano. We do one note at a time, not comparing it to another note. We just watch the screen, which will tell us when the note is in tune. We do no checks. So what's the issue here? Well, the science is this. The back of the piano has 220 strings on it. Each note is giving a tension of around 30 to 50 kilograms. The united tension is around 30 tons. That's like having two fully laden London double-decker buses on your foot. So as we're tuning a piano, we're shifting all this tension a tiny bit. This tension is pulled across an iron frame, which slowly twists and moves during the tuning. The other issue is the way the notes are built up in the piano, particularly in the treble, where we have 3 wires to the note, and many of these wires are made up out of one string. The string will come down one tuning pin, get wrapped around a hitch pin, and then go back up. Some of these wires going across 2 notes. So when we're pulling on one pin or one wire, we're affecting the neighbouring wire at the same time, something else which we need to check during the tuning, which we don't do with app tunings. And the last 2 things are the acoustics and the human ear. Believe it or not, the human ear is actually imperfect. Hence we do what's called stretch tuning. Stretch tuning is compensating for the imperfections in the human ear. This is also impacted by acoustics in a room. So every time we tune a piano, it's going to be slightly different. This is before we get to any issues in the piano, such as false beats. False beats are where a single string will think it is 2 strings caused by corrosion or other damage. Therefore, you get what's called a false harmonic. Aural tuners will know how to work around these, whereas an app will pick this up as an actual harmonic itself. And this is before we get on to period pianos, which cannot take concert pitch and have a totally different tonal texture and different form of false beats due to the materials used in their construction. Therefore, last year, when I did the app course online, I then used the same app on a number of different pianos in the workshop, some having these issues, to see what the result would be. And the app really did not like these pianos with these issues, but was fantastic on the modern pianos. But there have been some useful tuning devices invented over the years, namely the Sanderson AccuTuner, which is still being developed and was created by trained professionals in the piano trade. When I was at the Furniture College, we asked, why do we need to be trained when we can use this instead? And it was strongly explained to us why this is designed as a secondary aid and not a replacement. Now I can almost hear the hate comments coming out already. Of course you're not going to accept modern technology. You're a traditionalist, etc., etc. I actually did this experiment with an open mind, with this thought that a tuning app may be superior to the Sanderson AccuTuner, and I may be able to get as good a tuning using the app, particularly as I get older and start losing hearing. Unfortunately, the results were not that great. So if you want to be a piano tuner, which can be a fantastic career where you get to meet some amazing people, then I strongly recommend getting formal training via an apprenticeship or a university.